Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how we turn rice grains into actual rice that we can eat on our farm. So come outside on a nice dry day, we can see the rice has gone from sort of a dark green to a slight yellow. You can see some of it here where the rice is ready to be harvested now. So it's a little after 7:30 in the morning and our rice harvester has just arrived on site. So here we've got the grandfather just checking the machine, wants to make sure everything's done how he wants it. So here we've got a small ramp down into the rice field. So Grandpa's just pointing out where this track can go so he can get down safely. So he's going to take it nice and slow as he drives off the road, just to avoid tipping things over. So just behind these more banana trees, we can see he's just coming down into the field now. He's about to start clearing the field. Now it's interesting to note here, the way this machine works is he'll just take the rice heads off and leave a large stem behind. You can see it's just chomping through this fairly quickly. Now this isn't a very big field, so this probably will only take a couple of hours or so to do. And so you can see here exactly how much has been taken off the rice, and ultimately what it's done is just anything it doesn't need in the machine is just chomped out the back. So put on there, effectively we can use this for buffalo feed. So if we want to bring the buffaloes onto site later, let them gorge their way through it. So here you can see what the rice actually looks like after it's been chopped. So you can see sort of the yellow heads and the sort of dark brown covers. Now I didn't want to bore you with a long video showing how this field's ploughed, but he sort of ploughs outside to in. So he'll keep going around the borders and he'll eventually end up in the middle. So at this point, the guy's just had an alarm go off in the back of the trailer. Effectively, what this is telling him is the trailer's full and it's ready to be emptied. So what he's going to do now is just going to go make a quick phone call and we'll have a truck come up. So what we can see here is the actual controls of the machine. So you've got the machine control to move it forward and backwards. and each track separately. And this is the combine blade itself. You can see lots of jagged little forks at the bottom, so chops through the rice and the combine scoops it in. This is what the rice actually looks like before it was harvested. So you can see some of it's green, but some of it's going yellow, so it tells us it's ready to be harvested. So our truck's just arrived. So this truck will be filled up with rice from the machine. It will probably take 2-3 loads, and then it will be taken off to be dried at a different location. One of the things you'll find over Isan at this time of year when the rice is being harvested is you'll see a lot of rice being dried out on the roads. But what we've got here is we've actually got a truck to take it away to a separate location near to the grandparents' house. So here the driver of the machine is just trying to get it into position so you can basically raise the beam and empty a thing of rice. So we've now got the beam into position and we're now beginning the phase of emptying the rice. So you can see the rice that's coming out is still sort of a greeny yellow, which is there's still probably a lot of moisture in amongst that. So as you can see, it's starting to pile up pretty high. So there's quite a lot of rice in the back of that machine. And so we're just going to let him continue on and plough the field. This will probably take 2 or 3 more attempts, so we'll just leave him to it, and then we'll come back when we're ready to move the truck. Here's one of the latest additions to the family. We recently adopted a couple of abandoned puppies. So a couple of them here, they're really curious of what's going on and want to follow me around just about everywhere. So you can see a couple of farm dogs in training. So we've loaded all the truck up now. It's now off to the local monastery where we're going to end up emptying it out onto some blue tarpaulins to help it dry out. So this is our local Buddhist temple. So here you can see the truck being emptied. They'll put a small amount in each location and just drive the truck forward, just so they can spread it out as thinly as possible to make it dry as quickly as possible. So the one thing they don't want to happen here is the rice to be left out and the birds to come and get it. So you'll often find when the rice is out, people will be sitting with the rice, guarding it against any birds, because they will just come and destroy the whole crop. And here you can see some of the rice that's been laid out earlier. So over the far side you can see it looks like the rice has been out a little bit longer. So as you can see here, the rice that's been dropped is still that sort of darker colour compared to the rice over in the far corner, which has clearly been there a couple more days. So what we've got here is the ladies are actually just scraping the rice out and making a thin layer across the whole tarpaulin. Now they'll do this across the whole thing, so the whole truckload will be, this whole blue area will be covered with rice. So we've just got a little bit more being emptied here, and say we try not to tip it too quickly so too much doesn't come out too quickly, because ultimately what the driver's going to want to do in a minute is just pull forward and just cover the whole area in a thin layer as he drives away slowly. But now he's just piling some up to get the truck a bit more empty, and here he'll start pulling forward slowly so he can create a thin layer of rice across the whole area. And as you can see, the rice is now flowing really quickly, and then he'll just finish up by dumping the rest right at the very end here, from just spread out across the rest of the tarpaulin. So that's the final tap. Couple of taps, you're getting your last scraps, and then the truck will pull out. Now, as I said earlier, the ladies are out trying to spread this out as thin as possible because they want it to dry as quickly as possible. So just to get that moisture out, we're just trying to make a nice even layer across the whole thing. And here we can see the rice from earlier, so you can clearly see the difference in colour. This has clearly not been here that long, but it's been raked and laid out, so that should dry out nicely.
Several days later.
So we're now back, having collected all the rice into bags. It's now dried out properly. We're just loading up the cars to take it to the grain store. So we're now storing all the rice in the store. So it's just been unloaded by hand into the store. And then the final thing we have to do with this is just plough the field. So out in the tractor, clearing the rice field, ready for the next batch of crops going in. So that's how we use rice on our farm. So we don't use it to sell, we grow it, we process it, and we consume it ourselves because the field's not big enough to make enough money off the rice. So if you enjoyed this, hit the like and say thank you for watching.